We are the brothers and sisters of the Gathering of Christ Church. We are a Bible-based church. We believe and teach the Bible. We go into the history of the Bible. We go into the histories of the different religions to show for the fallacies. You understand, man? And the doctrines of men. And the similarities within the doctrines. Because there's a saying, Brother Aram does say, 99% of the truth is a lie. And in order to deceive somebody, you have to know the truth. You have to know how to twist it and turn it. So tonight, I just want to share and express something that most of us know, but we tend to not go into it or accept it. You understand? Because when we look at worship, it's something that you yield yourself over to. That is what worship is. Wherever you yield yourself over to. You understand? And some people yield themselves over to the things of the world, vanity, cars, clothes, money, big house. You know, I was watching a video where a man, he driving a Mercedes, and a next man came up bad drive and scratch it. The man just come out of the car, watch the car where it gets scratched, and walk up to the man and empty the clip on him. He didn't ask the man nothing, and he just come out, watch the car, and walk up to the man and they bow, 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 empty the clip on the man. The man didn't even get to say sorry. Hard luck day, nothing. No talking. So I want to share about tonight about idols. Because we have a lot of idols in the world today. And the scriptures show forth what idols is about. And a lot of people don't understand what comes with the worshiping of idols. And what spirits attached to these idols. So give me Amos 3 and 4. Give me Amos 3 and 7, sorry. Read.
Amos chapter 3 verse 7. Surely the Most High thy power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants and prophets. The lion that...
No, just 7. Read it again.
Surely the Most High thy power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets.
So the Lord God revealeth his secrets unto the servants, which is his prophets, because he ordained them. Just like we in the streets here doesn't know everything what's going on in Parliament. We doesn't know what's going on with the elites and them, the 1%. But they make it known what they want you to know. And then you will kick up in our uproar, oh this, that, they pass this, they pass that. Where you feel they get the standard and the idea from to do that? There's a standard created. So the Lord does nothing but he revealeth unto his servants, the prophets. Give me Ephesians 4 and 11. Because Christ set up what his Father tell him to do. And I want to explain this before I go more deep into the understanding of what comes with worshiping idols and graven images. Yeah, Ephesians 4 and 11. So we just read Amos 3 and 7. Let we get in the New Testament, Ephesians 4 and 11. Read.
Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 11. And he gave some apostles,
right,
and some prophets,
read,
and some evangelists,
read,
and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Yashayah Christ.
So that is why the Most High sent Christ, and Christ set up an order. He had apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers. An apostle is an ambassador of Christ that is sent with powers. That is what an apostle is. When you read in the book of Acts, and when you read what the disciples did, Shalom says, they were given power to cast out demons and devils and to heal sicknesses. Ambassadors of Christ that is sent. So we need to understand when the Lord say he revealed his servants unto the prophets, they are the ones getting the understanding. Because the Bible tells you there are three that bear record in heaven. And to bear record, you have to be there. That is why he could give the information. Because none of us was there. We know what happened. Right? So let we get into it now. Psalms 96 verse 5. Read.
Psalms 96 and verse 5.
Read.
For all the gods of the nations are idols, but Ahayah made the heavens.
So the Bible saying in Psalms 96 and 5, all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heaven and the earth. Every single religion have an idol attached to it. Every single one. Every single one. Christianity, every single one. Every single one have an idol attached to it. Christianity, the cross, the Kaaba, the Hindus have the different gods, the Buddhas, they have the gods. And we could go on and on and on. Every single religion have an idol attached to it. Even in the time in the wilderness, the children of Israel made an idol out of a golden calf and worship it. So every single religion have an idol attached to it. Christ never commanded that, because in the Bible, in the commandments, speak against it. It talks about making graven images. It talks about making graven images. It said don't make any image of anything that is in the likeness above, in the heavens, in the earth, or under the sea. For a particular reason. And we will touch on it tonight. We're talking about idols, graven images, and the worship that comes with it. What you think you're dealing with, you ain't have an idea. Because check this out. Good night, moms. Ezekiel 43, 44. Ezekiel 44 and 10.
This is the book of Ezekiel 44 and verse 10.
Read.
And the Levites that are gone away far from me, when Israel went astray away from me after their idols.
After their what?
Their idols.
So even the Levites that the Most High had set up through the children of Aaron, they and all went off on graven images. They started to set up graven images and the people worshiping them. When you go back in the book, of the Kings, it tells you that how the children of Israel was split and separated, and they went up to Dan. They had the idol's cock to worship. So let we go into it now. Let we get it. Because people like to say, well, it's an energy and it's a vibe. Well, let we get what the scriptures say. Give me the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus. Chapter 13. And we go and read the whole thing and I go expound. Read it.
Wherever you have bring it, huh?
Surely vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of the Most High.
They are what?
They are ignorant of the Most High.
So men are vain in nature, but we are ignorant of the Most High. Read.
And could not, out of the good things that are seen, known him that is, neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster, but deeming either fire or wind, or of the swift air, or the circle of the stars, or the violent water, or the lights of heaven, to be the gods which govern the world. With those beauty, if they being delighted, take them to be gods.
They what?
Take them to be gods. Let them know how much better that the Most High of them is.
So, in the Bible here, it's saying, men take these things for gods. The energy, the lights. They take them for gods. I'm talking to a man today and he telling me, boy, it's the vibration. When you're dead, you just come back and next thing and I'm watching him. And there's a big man, 51 years old. And I saying, but when you're dead, why you coming back as something lesser for? That making any sense? He said, boy, this Christianity thing all your brainwash. I say, all right, brother. I in my good mind don't want to be a cockroach because a human can touch me. Why would I want to come back something that I have no control over? Lesser than when I had dominion for. It don't make sense. So the scripture is saying these men start to worship the things of creation and call it gods. We're talking about idols here and the worship of idols. Read on.
Verse 4. For the first author of the beauty hath created them. But if they were astonished at their power and virtue, let them understand by them how much mightier he is that made them. For by the greatness and beauty of the creatures, proportionably the maker of them is seen. But yet for this they are less to be blamed. For they peradventure err, seeking God, and desirous to find him, for being conversant in the works, they search him diligently, and believe their sight, because the things are beautiful that are seen. Howbeit, neither are they to be pardoned, for if they were able to know so much that they could aim at the world, how did they not sooner find out the Lord thereof?
So the scripture is saying here that these people so want to know the Lord so much that they err in their ways. And the Lord is saying, if you want to know me, it's easy. I give all the commandments. Give me the commandments there in Exodus 20. Let me read it. Let me read it.
It's the book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3.
Read.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Read.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
What?
Any graven image.
Thou shalt not what?
Make any graven image.
Read.
or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, what is in the earth beneath,
Why?
or that is in the water under the earth.
Read.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them.
Read.
For I, Ahayah, thy power, am a jealous God.
And it's clear, he said, don't get no statue or no stone or nothing created by man, my glory. That know me? How you go feel if a man owe you $1,000 and he gave your brother it? Say, but again, your brother that for you. Give your brother that when you see him. And he ain't know that the brother is a big scammer. You ain't give me my money. You still owe me $1,000 because it's I and you. Not my brother. And it's the same thing. You're given a graven image that you buy a statue or a piece of metal or a rock that was created by the Creator, His glory. You given a product of creation, the glory of the Creator. So the scripture is highlighting and it's showing you. They lack the knowledge, they're ignorant of it. Read on. Go back to the book of Ecclesiasticus. Read.
Verse 10. But miserable are they, and in dead things is their hope.
In what?
In dead things is their hope.
Read.
Who call them gods, which are the works of men's hands.
So they call these dead things. These things not living. It can't do nothing for you. But you calling it a God. Or then when somebody dialogue with you, you're saying it's a representation. But God say, don't make no representation of him. And this is why the God of the Bible used to differentiate himself from all the other gods in the earth. Egypt had over 1,000 gods. Right there and then he differentiates himself. He said, don't make no gods. All you know is gods in Egypt. Don't make that to worship me. Egypt had over 1,000 gods. 1,000 different idols. Idols for every day of the week. Idols for every season. Idol for prosperity. You see how much confusion there is? You want to go and pray to the rain god to get rain. The sun god could get jealous and say, well, no sun. Now we have to go and pray to ye. That is why the God of the Bible says, don't make no graven image. Because a lot of people don't understand that these idols playing all you in. They playing all you for worship, you know. Because when them don't get a reverence, check it out. The next God you want to go and pray to don't get you what you had again. See, but you vex, boy. It vex. And again, you ain't moving how it does normally move with me. Because why? All the gods of the nations are idols. Every single religion set up have an idol attached to it. Every single religion have idol worship attached to it.
Which are the works of men's hands, gold and silver, and to show art in, and the resemblance of beasts, or a stone good for nothing.
A what?
A stone good for nothing.
You take a stone that good for nothing and craft it and shape it out and say it's a God. It's a representation of a God. I want people to understand this. You taking a stone that have no sort of living life form and shape it out and take a man taking time and craft this thing out and say, boy, that is a God, boy. Bow down and worship that.
Verse 10. And resemblance of beasts, or a stone good for nothing.
Read.
The work of an ancient hand.
Read.
Verse 11. Now a carpenter that filleth timber, after he hath sawn down a tree, meet for the purpose, and taken off all of the bark skillfully round about, and hath wrought it handsomely, and made a vessel thereof, fit for service of man's life. Verse 12. And after spending the refuse of his work to dress his meat, hath filled himself, and taken the very refuse among those which serve to no use, being a crooked piece of wood and full of nuts, hath carved it diligently, when he had nothing else to do.
Go ahead.
And formed it by the skill of his understanding, and fashioned it to the image of a man, or made it like some vile beast, laying it over the vermilion, and with paint coloring it red, and covering every spot therein. Verse 15. And when he had made a convenient room for it, set it in a wall, and made it fast with irons. Verse 16. For he provided for it that it might not fall, knowing that it was unable to help itself.
It was what?
It was unable to help itself.
And that is how the Messiah is showing the Messiah is showing the foolishness of people that do these things from since back then to now. You fashion this image, this idol, this graven image as a god. You take your time and do it. And then you put it in a special room. And you brace it up to support itself. And you go in every day and give reverence to this idol or stone. Not knowing that what? Spirits entering that and taking the worship. Yeah? Spirits going in. And there is what people don't understand, eh? You have a cross, you have a stone, you have a statue. I don't even want to call the name. All these other gods, we fashion them, and you go in and pray and say, help me. I need this, I need that. But let me give all you an eye opener for those that don't remember. Hear the eye opener. Read it. Psalms. Watch the eye opener. Well, you don't understand. Read.
Yeah.
Psalms 135 and verse 15.
Read.
The idols of the heathen are silver and gold.
They what?
The idols of the heathen are silver and gold.
So the idols of the heathens is silver and gold.
The works of men's hands.
Men build it.
They have mouths, but they speak not.
This idol you build have a mouth. The carpenter, the metal worker carve a mouth. And it can't answer the prayer that you just asked for. Read.
Eyes have they, but they see not.
It has eyes and it can't see who praying it. Read.
They have ears, but they hear not.
Can't hear your prayer. And you're going before this day in, day out. Read.
Neither is there any breath in their mouths.
It is not a living entity. But yet we in our wisdom as human beings has been susceptible to the fall of this. We have been conditioned. We have been brought up. You understand me? We have been taught this doctrine of men to think that this is a God or a representation of a God. Read.
They that make them are like unto them. So is everyone that trusted in them.
And they that make it no better than it. That is what it's saying. These people that making all these idols, just like it. Let me go back. Read.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 17.
Read.
Then maketh he prayer for his goods,
Read.
for his wife and children, and is not ashamed to speak to that which hath no life.
Wait, sir.
He's not ashamed to speak to that which hath no life.
You see how foolish mankind is who was given dominion? You go in and speak to something that can't talk back and ask it for help and protect my family when I'm going out. I want people to understand this. An idol in a temple fall down and break. It crack in an earthquake. What you feel going to happen? What you feel going to happen? A skilled craftsman had to come and repair that. It can't fix itself. And you go in and ask this for protection. Read.
Verse 18. For health he calleth upon that which is weak.
For what?
For health he calleth upon that which is weak.
Watch the wisdom of the Most High. Eh? For health, you're calling upon something that is weak. It has no strength, it has no life. Read on.
Verse 18. For life prayeth to that which is dead. For aid humbly beseeching that which hath less means to help.
Zechariah 10 and 2.
And for a good journey he asketh to that which cannot set a foot forward. And for gain and getting, and for good success, and his hands asketh ability to do of him that is most unable to do anything.
We have fall into a spiritual bond, into a spell, heavy divination, heavy enchantment, heavy witchcraft, and don't even recognize it. Read.
This is the book of Zechariah chapter 10 and verse 2. For the idols have spoken vanity.
They have what?
They have spoken vanity.
Read.
And the diviners have seen a lie, and have told false dreams. They comfort in vain. Therefore, they went their way as a flock. They were troubled because
when the pigs
there was
entered
no shepherd.
the spirit, Christ cast the spirit into the pigs.
My anger was kindled against the shepherds. I punished the goats, for Ahayah had visited his flock, the house of Judah, and I made them as a goodly horse in battle.
That is what he be saying. You have to understand with idol worship and graven images, that can't do nothing for you. Men start to worship the creation more than the creator. And men don't understand why we in this situation. Who turn the truth of God into a lie? There we get it.
This is the book of Romans chapter 1 and verse 25. Who changed the truth of Ahayah into a lie.
Read.
And worship and serve the creature more than the creator.
Who started tell man that the sun is a god? Who started tell man the wind is a god? The trees are god? Men started to worship the creation more than the creator. The creator set it in an order and man come wrong and say no.
Verse 26.
Read.
For this cause he gave them up unto vile affections.
So because of that now, he start to make you believe. So every day now, you going and bowing down to a statue that can't do nothing for you. And believe your prayers will be answered. You're holding on to a cross that you're buying a souvenir shop that you ain't know what to do with it. And saying, protect me. That is how we have been indoctrinated. Finish up.
For even their women, they change their natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise,
Matthew 8 and
also the men
32.
leaving the natural use of women burn in their lust one toward another.
And these are the things that start to happen. Inordinate things start to happen. When you sit down and worship idols, you go against the commandment of God. This is why the Lord say, He don't hear everybody pray. This is why in the book of Revelation it stipulates those that will enter into the kingdom. It gives the criteria to enter into the kingdom. It tells you that. Watch how you could take evil spirits and demons and they could live in other things, in objects and stuff. For those that don't want to believe, Christ gave the example. We're going to read it. This is why you have people worshiping jinn and all these things. Is spirit taking that form and worship? Give me Isaiah 14:12. Read it.
In Matthew chapter 8 verse 28.
Read.
And when he was come to the other side of the country of the Gerasenes, there met him two possessed with devils coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man could pass by the way.
Read.
And behold, they cried out, saying, What have we to do with thee, Yashayah, son of Ahayah?
So these spirits know who the Son of God is. You don't know. Them know. That is why they could deceive you. Fallen angels trying to take the worship. And the little knowledge that they had when they was in the heaven from the fallen state is what they're given. Bits and pieces for you to yield yourself over to them. Because they ain't getting it for free. You have to defy your temple. Read on.
Verse 29. And thou come hither to torment us before time.
Read.
And there was a good way off from them, and herd of many swine.
A herd of what?
A herd of many swine.
So you have two men possessed with demons on them, and the Messiah, the Christ, here, a herd of swines. Read.
And they were a good way off, right? So the devils besought him, saying, If thou cast us out, suffer us to go away into the herd of swine.
Into the what?
Into the herd of swine.
Read.
And he said unto them, Go. And when they were come out, they went into the herd of swine.
Read.
And behold, the whole sword ran violently down a steep place into the sea, and perished in the waters. And they kept them, and they that kept them fled, and went their ways into the city, and told everything, and what was befallen to the possessed of the devils.
So you see that? You ain't want to believe people that could be possessed. Who you feel is going to these graven images and objects and take the worship, boy? You have it there? Here is Satan's decree. Satan's decree. What is established. He's the chief of all devils. They fall under his command to do the bidding of him, to make men go astray. Satan don't make you sin, he just present it. Because you are the choice. The brother was reading earlier on. Job had a hedge around him. And Satan couldn't get in. So he present the opportunity for you. The Most High gave us freedom and choice. You choose. Read it.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 12.
Read.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
How you fall from your great estate, Lucifer?
Son of the morning.
Read.
How art thou cut down to the ground?
How you reach so low, boy? How you reach so low to this low estate? You was once an anointed cherub in the heavens. A high-ranking angel. What you could have done that bring you to this low estate? Read.
How art thou cut down to the ground when they weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart,
Read.
I will ascend into the heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High.
Read.
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the side of the north.
Read.
I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High.
What does the Most High God require of us, boy? All he requires of us is for us to obey and follow his commandments. Worship him. That is why he gave you 6 days for yourself. Make your money, hustle, lime, you do you. I gave you 6 days to do that. And I asking you for 1 day to rest and reflect with me. Read.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell.
And Satan knows his time is short. He know where he going, and he going and deceive as much as souls as he can. And we fail to realize that. People just think this thing all too spiritual. I sure we all have a family member or a friend or we know somebody who have deceived us. And it is a hard thing to overcome. Some overcome it, some are forgiven and move on, and some don't care. You have family members, people in the 60s and 70s, who ain't talking to their relative for 10 and 15 years, and them in the 70s. And you know what they say? I don't have to talk to them. I don't need them. Where the royal law said, do unto others as you would like be done unto you. We all want forgiveness at some point in time. We all want peace. We all want joy. We all want to make it into the kingdom, but we don't want to dead. No, it's the truth. You want to enter in the kingdom, but you don't want to dead. You want the best things, but you don't want to work. How does that work? How you could go and pray to an idol or statue that have no life, that a craftsman craft out the eyes, it can't see who praying to it. You go through, big man. Right? It can't breathe, so it can't answer your prayer, but you're saying that is a God. We need to wake up.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 12.
Read.
For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
What is that?
Was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
So when people started to make idols and graven images, they started to fornicate spiritually. It was an inordinate thing, a mixture of a whole set of things they started to do. Because check it, rituals, Freemasons, night orders, all these people who enter the necromancy and all these things, they don't understand the spiritual fornication they're into. Because they don't even understand the thing they know, but they don't understand what they're doing. They don't understand the weight they're putting on themselves. Read.
And the invention of them, the corruption of life, for neither were they from the beginning.
It wasn't created from the beginning. Read.
Neither shall they be forever.
Read.
For by the vain glory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall come shortly to an end.
Exodus 32 and 1 to 7. So we have to understand that it was the beginning of spiritual fornication, because you don't understand, as we read in Psalms 96, all the nations of the world, all nations, all religions have an idol attached to it. Christianity had the cross. That is a graven image. Nowhere in the Bible said to put on a cross and wear a cross. In the book of Acts it tells you the Christ was hung on a tree, a crucifix, a Roman crucifix. There is Chinese crucifix. You understand me? There are several different types of crucifix. The man was hung on a tree. Like a stake. He never said to make any graven image. But yet we have been conditioned to do these things. You have it there? Yeah, to the 2 and 1. To 7. Check this out and watch what's going on. Watch what happened in the wilderness with Moses and them. God now talked to Moses up on the mountain. No graven image, nothing. Watch what they was doing at the bottom of the mountain. This is how you just know it's a total different God. Read.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 32 and verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down onto the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him,
Give me Psalms 115.
Up, make us gods, which shall do before us. For this Moses, the man that brought us out of the land of Egypt, we know not what will become of him.
Read.
And Aaron said unto them, break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and your daughters, and bring them unto me.
Read.
And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron.
Read.
And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graven tool, after he had made it a golden molten calf. And they said, these be thy gods, O Israel.
This what he said?
These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And when
Psalms
Aaron
106.
saw it, he built an altar before it, and Aaron made proclamation and said, tomorrow is the feast of the Lord. And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings.
Psalms 106.
And brought peace offerings, and it
34 to
sat down
39.
to eat and to drink, and rose up to play.
So they break off the earrings and they created a golden calf. Because they don't know what's going on with Moses, and Moses up there talking to God. So who them was praying to down there? Which God if the Most High was up there with Moses? That is how we does know. That is why God put it in the commandments, and that is the first thing he said. Don't make no graven image, because it can't do nothing for you. And spirits could possess things and take the worship. That's why we read Isaiah 14:12. Satan had a decree. He will be like God, and God requires worship. Because look what comes with worshiping idols. We see it all in the movies in Hollywood and things. But look what the Bible tells you happens when people start to follow idols. Read. Chapter and verse.
Psalms chapter 106, verse 36.
Read.
And they served their idols.
They served their idols.
Which were a snare unto them.
Right.
Yeah, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils.
All here. People doesn't understand that. You see it on the TV and on the social media. You see it with all these celebrities. They will sacrifice their loved ones for prosperity. They will do rituals and perform rites to sacrifice a loved one and a family member for their own gain. That is why the Lord set up and he said, if you had to come to me in spirit and in truth. You don't need no idols or nothing. You go in through your time, you talk to him. He go hear you. But from the time you start to relegate the creator of the world to shrines and idols and image, you're going to have a hard time reaching him because he's not there. Read.
And shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan. And the land was polluted with blood. Thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a-whoring with their own inventions. Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance, and gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought up into subjection under their hand.
This is why the Roman Catholic Church has so much autonomy in the earth today. Because the Lord gave them over to them. The Lord will use nations and people to bring forth his judgment. As the brother was talking earlier on, the Most High stir up the Medes to come against the Babylon Empire, to overthrow them. All here, idol worship is a serious thing. This is why the Lord was very clear in Deuteronomy. He said, do not make a witch, a warlock, a charmer, an enchanter to live. Because they will cause the people to stumble. All these rites and rituals you have to do before you go in a shrine. For what? Check on yourself and know the God that you're serving. What happens when you yield yourself over to these things? Spiritual fornication. Read it.
Colossians chapter 2 and verse 18. Let no man beguile you of your reward.
Read.
In involuntary humility and worshiping of angels.
Of what?
Worshiping of angels.
That is what you worship when you go into these churches and these mosques and these temples and these ritual houses. Fallen angels that take in this worship. Because it empowers them. Read.
Intruding into those things which ye had not seen.
Which ye what?
Which ye had not seen.
You ain't see it.
Vainly puffed up by his fleshly mind.
So that is why I want to end with tonight and leave all you with. The worshipping of idols is the beginning of spiritual fornication. That is why some people can't come out of it. That is why some people can't catch themselves. That is why some people are going insane. That is why some people cheering, as the brother read earlier, they sacrifice the cheering over to these idols. That is why some of them come out dumb. That is why no matter where you go in the world, right? It have children that look the same. They carry the same face and the same features. And you can tell that they're Down syndrome. And syndrome, the medical term when you Google it, it simply means that they don't know what it is. So they call it a syndrome. They put a big word on it because they can't explain it. We are the brothers and sisters of the Gathering of Christ Church. Feel free to come, ask questions, we dialogue. We're here for 5 more minutes. Right? Shalom and good night.